Hey, if you go to college in Pennsylvania, then you can vote in Pennsylvania. It's a lot easier than you think. All you need is a Pennsylvania address and a photo ID from your school. And if it's before October 19th, it's not too late to vote. I'm Keenan Crane. I'm a professor in the School of Computer Science at Carnegie Mellon University. And in this video, I'm going to give you a simple algorithm for how to cast your vote. I know it can be confusing and annoying to vote when you're away from home, especially when you have to do it through the mail, but I've gone ahead and looked up all the details for you. All you have to do is follow a few simple steps. You can also find all this information at voteinpa.org. When I was a college student, I'm ashamed to say I didn't vote in the presidential election. I thought that voting was complicated and annoying, and like a lot of students, I didn't think it would make a difference. But this year, Pennsylvania is super important. According to 538.com, Pennsylvania looks like the single most important state of the 2020 election. In fact, Pennsylvania is so important that our model gives Trump an 84% chance of winning the presidency if he carries the state, and it gives Biden a 96% chance of winning if Pennsylvania goes blue. And although it might feel like 2016 was a close race, the reality is there were a huge number of people who could have voted who just didn't show up. So with about 100,000 students just in Pennsylvania alone, college students like you have a huge opportunity to decide who our next president will be. Another great thing about Pennsylvania is that you can actually verify online that your ballot was counted, so you can see that your vote really did make a difference. So let's say you're a college student in Pennsylvania and you want to vote. How do you do it? The first thing to know is that as a college student, you get to decide where to vote. You can vote either in your home state or in the state where you go to school. The only rule is that you cannot vote twice. Now, if you want to vote in your home state, this video is not for you, but you can get all the information you need at usa.gov/election office. Just pay close attention to the deadlines for voter registration and requesting a mail-in ballot. If, on the other hand, you want to vote in Pennsylvania, the first question is, are you registered to vote in Pennsylvania? If not, and it's already after Monday, October 19th, then unfortunately, you're out of luck. You can't vote in Pennsylvania, but you might still be able to vote in your home state. However, if it's still before October 19th, then you can go ahead and register online at pavoterservices.pa.gov/pages/voterregistrationapplication.aspx. A lot of people think you need a Pennsylvania driver's license or ID to vote, but you don't. You just need a Pennsylvania address like your dorm or your apartment, and you need your social security number. If you don't know this number, you should just ask your parent or legal guardian. Okay, great. So now you're registered, and you have to decide, how do you want to vote? By mail or in person? If you want to vote in person, then it's really easy. You just look up your polling place at pavoterservices.pa.gov/pages/pollingplaceinfo.aspx. Go to the polling place between 7 a.m. and 8 p.m. on Election Day, Tuesday, November 3rd, with your student photo ID, and vote. The earlier you get there, the better. And that's it. You stand in the booth, you vote, and you're done. Now, let's say you want to vote by mail instead. If it's after October 27th, then you're out of luck, and you have to vote in person. Otherwise, if it's still before October 27th, you can send in a request for a mail-in ballot at pavoterservices.pa.gov/online absentee application. This is super easy. You just click a few buttons, and you will receive a mail-in ballot in the mail. Not your email, by the way. You have to go check your physical mailbox. Once you get your mail-in ballot, you just fill out who you want to vote for using a black or blue pen. If you use a pencil or some other colored pen, your vote will not be counted. Once you're done, put your ballot in the smaller envelope that says Official Election Ballot, seal this envelope, and put that inside the larger envelope that has a mailing address on it. On the back of the outer envelope, you then have to sign your name, print your name, fill out the date, and write your address. Once you've done all that, you have to send in your ballot no later than Election Day, Tuesday, November 3rd. I would just say send it in as soon as you possibly can. Okay, now I know that many of you may have never sent a physical piece of mail from college, but it's super easy this time. For one thing, you don't need a postage stamp. For another, if you don't know where to send mail from, just go to tools.usps.com/findlocation.htm, type in your zip code, and look for collection boxes near you. Then you can just walk over and drop it in. And that's pretty much it. You've voted. But if you want to be sure that your vote was counted, you can go to pavoterservices.pa.gov/pages/ballottracking.aspx. If your ballot was received, great, you're finished. If it wasn't received by Election Day, no problem. you can still show up at your polling place on election day, ask for a provisional ballot, and go ahead and vote in person. That way you can be absolutely sure that either your mail-in ballot or your in-person ballot will be counted. So that's it. I know that it still feels like a lot, but if you just follow the steps one by one, it's really not a big deal. And again, you can get the whole flowchart at voteinpa.org. So go out, vote, and make a difference.